Hello again. Dave Gibson here for Third Wednesday Magazine. This evening, my guest is Jeffrey Heath. Jeffrey was born in Amarillo, Texas, and raised in South Florida. His first chapbook, American Drug Poems 2000, coincided with his time on the Poetry Slam scene, where he represented the city of West Palm Beach at the National Poetry Slam in 2001 and 2002. Jeffrey's work has appeared online and in print in several literary and poetry journals, including Poetry Superhighway, Eunoia Review, Synesthesia Literary Journal, the Syzygy Poetry Journal, Third Wednesday, Wildscape Literary Journal, and as a monthly feature in Neologism Poetry Journal. It's also featured in Goodreads, among others. He currently lives in Memphis, Tennessee, and here is Jeffrey Heath.
Good evening. My name is Jeffrey Heath. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be reading some poems from my book, Entropy Loop and Other Poems. The first one is actually a piece that appeared in Third Wednesday magazine. It's called The One That Breathed Between Us. We do not wake from love like sleep, or rise from it, a fiery bird out of the ashes. But like the dying rise from a bed they know they will not return to. There is no ceremony to this loneliness, the quiet clang of spoons in a drawer, the tink of glasses in a half-empty cupboard, the breathless hush of rooms unspoken to for days. We have been dying for years, but you are still here, lying next to me, staring at a phone that never rings, folding laundry like winding a shroud, our voices brittle as x-rays, the truth lit up in bone. I remember you once said that love was an orchard, ripe and impossible to own. Now the trees bend like old men and no fruit grows, only this slow failure of systems, a forgetting of rituals, the untouched coffee, a bed made for no one, the empty kiss, the steady subtraction of each other's names from the future. This was the death that took the longest, the one that breathed between us, long after we stopped touching, long after we said we loved each other in the past tense, even after we had buried the years in our separate plots. This next piece is called Dolly on His Deathbed, Dreams of Lorca with Olives. There is a bull here in the olive groves. Here a toreador, blindfold and crown. Darkness aimed toward sky awash with bullets. Butterflies bead and break apart. A body falls like fruit from a tree, split and nectar spilt by hummingbird rushes. This is what satisfies me still. Olay, the brush shouts. Olay, the skin whispers. I imagine the gunshots in you, an explosion of roses churning, blooming red, multi-layered and spiraled, a flowering gut surrounded by invisible men. Twinned images, my hands hover at your waist, the taste of olives on my tongue. Consummate or not, our bodies are one, even after the long death, even after I have forgotten you. Now I am the sex and death of you, but in your death, all I have is the shock of you. Locusts echo in my skull, spreading news of my illness. Here the olive becomes the nipple erect, the basket of bread broken by war, lingüeta de la mariposa, la langue du papillon, tasting the nectar, chasing the swallow's tail. You are my catastrophe. This next piece is called viewing the magnolia tree outside my apartment window. Beneath the slow reach of spring's breath, the magnolia tree unfolds with the patient grace of something that remembers how long it has waited for warmth. Each blossom a soft fist, unclenching, pale pink or ivory, the color of first light seen through half-closed eyes. This is how love comes, quiet at first, roots pushing deeper while no one watches. Now the tree is radiant with petals, and the air smells of newness, of all the things we might grow if we lean toward each other in the sunlight. Picasso woman. Pink cap over shadow's scalp, skin papered, pale, transparent. A child watches color flowering from this forever bed as we teach the ways to say goodbye. Driving through the night, I listened to your memory for an uncoordinated time as you never should have been, ought to remain, a Picasso woman, laughing in your mirror at the top of my stair, one ghost of a breast where surgeons carved your cancer like bad spots from an apple. Now less 50 pounds, carrying more years than you've been given, lying in hospital, facing the ironies of dying. These hours seek distraction. Nurses percolate through echoed halls. A husband, son, cousins force their conversation. Construction and farming, church and family, cheerful, bland, sincere, devastated. I arrive with a final bloodless daughter, woman you helped to raise. Perhaps this is what raises you from the dead hours of long coma, when only the question remained of what more there was to keep you here. Her kiss releasing, shiver, shudder of breath, a final thundercrack whisper. This next piece is called Wedding Rings You've Lost Along the Way. 1. The first, not your real mother's, but she took you to raise, sleeps like ashes in a box, etching smoothed to a sigh over years of turning it round, holding the stone in her palm through every Sunday service. 2. Your husband's, cut away in a sterile room from a swollen, bloodless finger a day after you disclosed the affair. Stray fist against the stone walls of a home in a storm, slowly melted, never realizing what was broken. No way to save it, they said. Now he wears it as a groove, bone raised around the empty space. 3. Then it was your own, stolen by a whisper of current, surfacing from Gulf waters. You renewed your vows there, a beach outside Pensacola, salt in your hair and sting on your lips. 18 years, give or take a separation. Hands naked, broken, joined together, remarried to an ocean. Syntax. We love in grammatical errors, dangling promises, split intentions, each touch a clause that contradicts the last, wrapping an affair in parentheses, mistaking for a semicolon what was a new paragraph. You had already turned the page, but I stayed, tracing the ellipsis like it meant we'd continue. Tense shifts mid-sentence, your hands in past perfect, my mouth still present, conditional, if, maybe. Our sentences run on, gasping for punctuation. Your apologies comma spliced with all the things you still won't say. I underline your absence, highlight the silence, red mark your half-truths like a tired editor, watching meaning slip through metaphors, the syntax of our broken life. This last piece I'll read is the title piece of the book. It's called Entropy Loop. This poem is another woman. I read your face, swept in lines you believe will be meant for you. The girl was an ocean of jellies, a spiral of stars left in her wake. Galaxies bloom her hidden currents. The moment hangs weightless, tiptoed off cilia and leviathan bones. Storms that split the afternoon sky, rains that once were oceans, that once were rains, that once were. A tetraradial stare soothes the world to sleep, each of us Medusa, coiled around our sting. Taste our salted hands, our bitter mouth, the lingering ache of our shared belly. Another sustenance. Wasps nesting in my paper throat, a swarm of whispers, yellow, black. They drown in the thirsty earth of my chest, swallow and sacrifice to the green fig of my heart, labyrinth, the cold echoes of my veins. I don't look to leave, but everywhere lies evidence of not being here. Oil coats the page, a residue on the corners folded into memory, smudge of ink on fingertips, dark nebula brushed across the heavens, another universe. Light you once traced across our history, the long red decay shifting, accelerating against this constant expanse, the horizon of death that is only realized generations after the burial. You long for a movement in your nearest star, a transit, a lensing, a rocky place I could rest my head, and in some other orbit, look back across the years to you, a sixth star of Cassiopeia. But ours are worlds stretched thin, lungs collapsing against the weight of gravity until for a time we breathe. A low lamp susurration, after the cadence flickers, falters, fades away, into, out of, into another. Thank you so much for having me. The book again is Entropy Loop. It's available on Amazon and novel bookstores in Memphis, Tennessee.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Once again, my name is Dave Gibson for Third Wednesday Magazine. My guest tonight has been Jeffrey Heath. I want to thank everyone for listening. Come back for another reading soon.